Hey, it's a podcast. This is the Frame by Frame podcast. Probably the first podcast to be affiliated with Still Framed. And here we have me, Rionari, and we also have Evan, Bakari, and Tyler here. Why don't you guys introduce yourselves?
Welcome to the Still Frame podcast thing. We call it Frame by Frame. My name is Tyler. It's very good to meet you. Let's move on to you, Bakari. Introduce yourself, bud.
Hey guys, I am Bakari, also known as Deveri. I animated stuff, and that's pretty cool. Moving on to Evan.
Hey, I'm Evan, also known as Evan, and I also do animations.
You do?
Might know me as that blue hat guy.
Wisconsin. So, what's it? So this is like the out of all of us, which is like this is the first time we're actually doing this. So bear with us, whatever. We're gonna be talking about a lot of different sort of things, usually revolving around like current events going on Still Framed, which is a site for animators and or artists to take place. But for starters, I think we're just gonna talk about or pretty much how we got here in the first place. I'll start with myself, I guess. Let's see. I myself am an animator. Also, I'm known as Rionari Presents, that sort of thing. We'll have like links in the description for all of us if you want to see our stuff. I started like around last year. It was like my senior year in high school. In my digital art class, they showed us how to do Flash. And like a couple years back, I saw like all these, Maple animations and all that sort of thing. And once I got like my hands on Flash, it was also around the same time where Derek, also known as Sprite Fan 2, posted his tutorials on how to do Flash. And there was a school project that revolved around that program. So once I got used to it, it was actually very fun in my expense. So the interest kind of grew from there, and eventually I found Still Framed. And like right now I'm experimenting with a lot of different things. So if you like ever watch my stuff, or I guess things are gonna be a lot different because I fiddle around with things in that matter. But here I am now.
And that was Rionari. Welcome, Rionari. We welcome you with open arms. It's so good to meet you, Rionari. I'm kidding. We've known you for at least 10 years. Oh, Evan, what did you say to me?
No, what?
Okay. I guess
Zeller.
I don't. I'm kidding. You're beautiful. Anyway, moving on with myself. I, like a lot of other people, sorry I moved away from my microphone right there. For a lot of people, well, I started out on Maplemation, I guess you could say. I started doing MapleStory related stuff back in like 2009. I played the game quite a lot, and I started doing stuff with Windows Movie Maker. I thought it was cool back when I first started, at least. And eventually that interest grew into what I became on Maplemation. Now, when I first joined, I won't lie, I was a sight for sore eyes, man. Then again, who wasn't? Let's face it. I mean, come on, Bakari was terrible when he first started. Where's Bakari?
Hey.
We all have that stage. Moving on.
But anyway, like I said, I went on Maplemation. It's still around, sorta. But eventually, a lot of the animators that I used to look up to ended up creating their own forum, and I was like, hey, this looks pretty cool. So I took a little bit of interest. At first, I was skeptical, but as soon as things started going south on Maplemation, I ended up here. So I welcome myself with warm arms. Let's move on to you, Bakari.
Yeah. All right. How did you get here?
Alright, so the way I started animating, well, let's start with me that I've been playing MapleStory, or I started playing MapleStory ever since the beta, and that was ages ago, basically. And I've always felt like this kind of like attraction to the game, like how it looks like. I always like the sprites for some reason. They're huge chibi characters, but whatever, dude.
It's a sprite complex, guys.
Yes, so it's... No, but, yeah, and then, like, I usually watch like MapleStory related videos, and after a while I saw these animations made with Windows Movie Maker. Well, of course they're horrible now, but earlier they were like the shit. And I think that I was like I will always admire the animations, because I wouldn't have the attention span to like make a Windows Movie Maker animation, because you know how the program is. But then I started seeing some Flash animations after a while when I was around the age of 14. I'm 16 now. And then I saw a lot of these advertisements for forums. And then I started joining these forums. First I was really like nervous to meet people, and I've never been on a forum before. But then I like torrented Flash. And
at least he's straight up about it.
I'm straight. Hey, I'm sorry,
Honesty.
Adobe, but I ain't playing for your stuff.
The honesty.
No, but then I started animating a bit, and like Tyler said, I sucked when I started. And the thing about me was that it wasn't just a short period where I sucked. I sucked for like 1.5 years.
It's okay. So did I.
And then I like started improving a bit, and then I just saw like as Tyler said, that the animators I admired started to move on to other forums. Then Stillframe happened, you know, Jaws, Derek, all those cool people just moved on to there, and then I was like, hey, I'll be a cool guy too. Swag.
No.
And then I joined Stillframe, and that's basically it. Like, yeah.
What about
That's
you?
me, guys. Hey,
Uh,
you go.
so I've been a fan of MapleStory since I think 2007. Yeah, 2007. I discovered the game through like some ad on the side of a YouTube video. I was like, hey, that's pretty cool. So I went ahead and clicked it, and it interested me, so I just went ahead and downloaded the game, and I played it for a couple of years. Like Bakari, I saw a bunch of Windows Movie Maker animations, and then I eventually ran into one of SpriteFan2's Mapling Times episodes, and I was like, hey, this is pretty funny. So I watched all up to whatever that point was. So afterward, I had more animations, and that eventually inspired me to want to do that. And I saw a couple advertisements for a site called Maplemation, which is where I started about almost 3 years ago. And I started animating a couple months afterward, and I'm pretty sure Makari has seen some of my animations before December 2012.
I remember those 2-second animations.
But in December, not 2012, but 2011. But in December 2011, I was introduced to the Animouth, and he told me that I should just like not take long breaks, and I guess that's what really hit it off for me, and I began to improve.
Shout out to Eric.
I began to improve about 6 months after I quote-unquote started animating. But before that, my animations were kind of shit.
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah.
Let's skip a couple years forward when Maplemation began to deteriorate, and Derek was like, hey, let's make another forum called Stillframe, so I joined that, and I guess here I am today.
Oh, and a reminder to any of our listeners who don't exactly get our stories. We all, we're Flash animators, but we generally animate characters from a core game that we all played back in our days, which was MapleStory, and we would take those characters from a specific program called BandStory, and we would take them and do whatever magic that we do and put them in animations, which is how pretty much we all met.
Alright.
Tyler, Flash animator.
Speak for
Les.
yourself, I was about to say that. Nah. I'm a GIF animator. I use the GIMPs, the Photoshops, and the fireworks. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that too.
How
There's
gangsta are
also
you?
the GIFs with fireworks and all that.
Yeah, I pulled the GIF.
Let's see. Take a look at what.
I
There was
suppose-
one thing.
Go ahead.
Wait, go. Wait, you go.
I insist!
Jesus Christ! All right. So, if you're part of Still Framed, and there are these things called SFCs, which is pretty much called Still Framed Clash, and it's pretty much two animators go at it, who makes a better animation, whatever. And one of the issues that's been going on a lot recently is people aren't finishing their stuff when they put it out to the public for to see. Like, they would say like you have to make at least 1 minute's worth of animation, and then they don't. Like, what are your guys' input on that sort of thing?
Well, I'm a GIF animator, man. Half the shit I do isn't even, like, 10 seconds sometimes. But it
Which
can
is
be
understandable.
finished.
Fireworks is a lot more time-consuming. I have understood, since
the
you
only-
have to move everything separately.
Yeah,
or
exactly.
some things, which can take a lot of time, and the frame rate's different too. It doesn't work the same, and
I mean,
Yeah, I
I
think-
understand that, but I mean, like, the biggest, like, defining... Ooh, wow, I'm burping everywhere. The biggest defining factor as to why, why GIFs can be a bit time-consuming, but at the same time are not necessarily, is because it requires frame-by-frame movement. Like, there's very few shortcuts, like, within the parameters of GIF animation. I mean, sure, there's tweening and all that stuff, but, I mean, tweening isn't as efficient as it could be, whereas Flash is much more proficient. I'd at least like to say in sprite animation, maybe not so much in drawn animation or other aspects. What about you,
Yes.
Eric? What do you think?
Eric?
Eric's totally here. Evan, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
What about me?
What do you think about unfinished work in SFCs?
Well, sometimes there are reasons for unfinished animations, but if you can't finish it, then you just can't finish it. But you guys know me. Like, you guys have seen some of my SFCs where I haven't finished them. Take my SFC versus Rionari as an example. I did meet the criteria of the animation. I just didn't finish it, which is my fault entirely. But my thoughts on it is that if it's unfinished, heavy consequences should not be given, but like they should still face consequences. And if they're not motivated to do it, they should either just ask to call it off or forfeit. And if they can't finish within the time limit, they should just ask for an extension.
Yeah, I mean, I feel you there.
I just want to say that I think that like animations that are unfinished, if you're gonna make an unfinished animation, at least try to live up to it and make it good.
I mean,
And-
a prime example of that is Eric. I mean, which SFC
Oh my God.
was that? The one with Itoho where I voice acted it. Oh my god.
Oh shit!
I'm just
We'll
saying.
talk about
I'm just saying. I'm just quoting Jaws what he said, like, I don't know, a couple of years ago on some thread somewhere, I don't know where. Rushed ending is better than unfinished ending.
Yeah, that's actually in that SSC that Tyler was just talking about. I actually had to cut off short, but at least I made an ending. But even still, I didn't like what I made.
Eric had me
Which makes sense.
laughing hysterically, rather. I mean, come on. We all knew he rushed it, and he knew he rushed it, but he had fun with it, and that's what made it all the more entertaining.
It's like somehow Eric always happens to pull something out of his ass whenever he like makes stuff, no matter what time frame he has to make it.
Yeah.
Disclaimer,
So,
we swear a lot on the show.
Yeah. Well, word up to the Animouth, man. I gotta hand it to him. He's...
Yeah.
Is that the sound of 3 hands clapping I hear?
Yeah. But yeah, seriously, people, like, take more pride in your work. Seriously, on that note.
Well, moving on, I guess
I just wanna.
Go ahead.
No, I have something to say more. What I think is, like, I understand if, like, one of the parts, like, let's say it's a 2 versus 2, and one of the animations is not finished. But if it's a 2 versus 2, and all 4 are not unfinished, then there's something wrong there.
That,
Like,
yeah, it would be an absolute wreck at
Like,
that
Are
point.
you referencing a more recent?
I'm referring to something. I'm not gonna say the name, but come on, guys.
It's
Yeah,
more
I
recent.
get it. Yeah.
Like, if you can't do that. Like, if both teams have not finished, then add extension or something, because
Call it off.
That's yeah, cancel it. It's not okay to do this.
It's a funny thing, like, when people got all on that, like, there are, like, dozens and dozens of more SFCs that, like, revolved with that sort of thing, but it was only that specific one because it was so, like, I don't want to, like,
Yeah, I
offend
was
you
so
when I say this, like,
surprised.
it's
I was-
so bad.
I was so surprised of how 4 people could be without, like, finishing it.
I
I mean-
yeah, that's even more surprising because you got more manpower and more creativity to work with. I mean, given, yeah, I'll admit it, I'm a slacker. I've slacked off on my good share of projects, but I mean, come on.
I mean, later, like, earlier of my days, I usually didn't finish anything. Nowadays, I try to finish everything I can. So far, I've been finishing work for a while. But, of course, there's some projects that I haven't finished, but they're just minor projects or something like that. And as I said earlier, a rushed ending is better than a unfinished ending. So even when I have the opportunity, or when I don't have the opportunity to animate, at least try to take some time of my day to make a rushed ending. Like, it's not that hard, guys.
Yep. Take some more responsibility
Yeah.
and, lots of things. Let's see. So, with things going on in Still Framed, they're obviously having an event that revolves around October and Halloween and that sort of thing. And, people are making, like they draw shit for Halloween or they animate stuff for Halloween. But, I don't want to, like, I'm not exactly sure, but I was the first one to, like, we should probably do something that's like that. And, it's a work in progress right now, like, of course, but I'm actually having the first hybrid 2v2 SFC where it's an animator and an artist work together to make something within a month, and then we'll dish it out on Halloween.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, me and my friend Danielle had planned to do something like that a while ago. She's Lufin, well, rather, I guess Lufin. You might, he's old Supermud. She's Lufin's, girlfriend. And we intended to do something like that, because she's a good artist, and I happen to know more about technology than she does, so she was like, you know what, I want to try a little bit of an animation like that. And I was like, well, okay. But, it's yet to happen. But I'm glad to see someone that has actually taken the initiative and done something like that,
I want to... Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
No.
Good.
But, like, I don't know, I'm not really in the thrill of it just to, like, win. I just want to make something that's really cool for people to see. And the fact that, like, like, putting all these restraints on yourself, it may cause, like, people to, like, to be, less motivated or less inspired, but, I kind of like that feeling. And to be honest, I'm actually making, like, a lot of progress with it, too. In comparison to all the old stuff that I have, this one is, like, so much different, but, revolves around the same thing.
So who's your partner?
It, like I said before, it's an animator and an artist, which is the hybrid, and the artist goes by the name of Cindabelle on
Shout out to Cindabelle!
Very, very good artist indeed. And
Likes to draw
for those of you,
lollies.
Yeah. For those of you who want to know when it's coming out, it's actually coming out during Halloween Day, which is like next Thursday. And there was a condition where there's no restriction, so it's coming out on Halloween.
Speaking of 2v2 SFCs, I'm also in one. It's not.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It's not a Halloween restricted SFC, so it's a 2v2 FLA share FSC, and FLA sharing is when two animators share the same flash file and they animate in the same file, and it's working together technically.
Like ping pong.
And
Yeah.
it's more or less working together with it's more like working together rather than two animators making a separate part and representing each other. And that's supposed to be due on the 25th. No, my bad. The 15th of November.
Good luck with that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and another thing I should say about the Halloween FC, I mean, they're like between the two teams, they're actually working together, as in like making one complete piece with both skills incorporated with one another, rather than just like, you know, two separate pieces by itself. So there's gonna be some like major hype, major excitement from that, maybe.
I hope so, man. I'm looking forward to it. On another note, I guess we should move on to the next subject regarding animation styles.
Yeah. Like when I first came to Still Framed, like when I first put out my animation, like I didn't really expect to get like so much positive feedback. It was like more of the question as to like, why hasn't anyone done this before? It's obviously that easy to do it. And like to me, everyone seems to be like following this one guideline, one procedure, like this is how it should be animated, and for some reason everyone seems to just catch on to that, with the exception of some that we all know.
I just want to point out that the Street Fighter style, we all know that it's there, and it's in so many animations. Sometimes it can be hidden, sometimes it can just be so obvious that they like try to rip it off from the game. Like, punch, Hadouken, Shoryuken! You're like, cool. And, of course, there are the people who like, it's fine if they animate like it. I just want to say, like, Armaster, since he was like the first person to do it, I don't want to be like a hypocrite or anything, but it's like kind of okay for him to do it, but not okay for other people to do it. I can't explain it really
I wouldn't
well,
necessarily say it like that. I mean,
because it's not his style, but it's just that he can just pull it off pretty well.
yeah, I mean, I guess I get you what you mean. I mean, yeah, sure, the Street Fighter esque style has been, you know, very prevalent in, because I mean, I talked to Mally like quite a long time ago, and he said, yeah, sure, he's like, I don't want to sound cocky, but he does take some credit for starting like the new generation of animators, and yeah, that holds pretty firm to this day, I'd say, regarding Maple Story at least. You know, Street Fighter style isn't necessarily a bad thing, but I mean, it's really all about how you can showcase it. I mean, I don't have anything against any certain animation styles. I mean, there are some people who think bad is a style, but you know.
I just want to like correct myself and say that I don't think that you can animate whatever you want, but I'm just saying don't try to rip off from someone else, because I've seen a bunch of like combos and such being the same in animations, and like sometimes the combos can just be like similar, they don't have to be the same, just that it looks like someone else's animation. Like, they don't have their own style in their way, or maybe they're trying to just like go from one style to something else, like move on from Street Fighter and then go to like progress their own style through Street Fighter.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Like,
I mean, I guess it's sort of a basis from what I understand. Because, you know, as long as I've been around the community, well, at least Maplemation, it's always been do this, do that, because, you know, it was just sort of like the way you learn. You adapted by clinging on to other actual entities of animation, other teachings. And when you study a specific teaching for too long, you're bound to catch on and make some repetitive either mistakes or repetitive animations, I guess you could say. And,
yeah, because there's actually not really real real way to animate. Like, anyone can animate how they want to. There's not a correct way to animate. I mean, because like there's so many different styles and there's so many different rules.
I suppose,
to every person.
I suppose I can agree with you on a halfway point because, you know, like I said, there are some people who think bad is a style.
Well, of course,
Well,
logic. Of course, logic is like that has to be like a thing. Like, of course, a guy can just jump up and like stay there for like 15 minutes.
Well, here's something that I'll say that I'll add on to it. I agree with a lot of what you say, and I'll add on with like, you can, like, it's not required for you to do that sort of thing. You can do it. It's like whatever, but it's pretty much on how you pull it all off. And like, it surprises me how like all that certain style is like so abused and why people don't scrutinize their own work. Like, to me, it feels like people are just like dumping their work into the forum and people like, hey guys, what do you think? You know?
Yeah. I totally know what you mean. And I agree with you with a lot of points. I don't really have any like argument against what you say. It's just that I don't know. I can't explain. I'm sorry.
But like, for you listeners, one of the most basic concepts of Maple animations that there's always been for the entirety of it like existing was all like fighting animations, like you know, two people fighting, whatever, that sort of thing. Like, sometimes video game based, you know. And with still framing around, they encouraged, you know, like stuff that's outside Maple Story sprites. But, you know, I'm still with Maple Story sprites. But where I'm getting at is that I wanted to stray away from all the action and, you know, try to go for something a little more quirky based. Because, you know, I don't want to keep like reiterating about my own SFC, but, you know, it's all like more focused on the cinematics.
Yeah, I feel you. I mean, story-based has always been a bit more interesting to me. I guess that's why some series do very successfully if they have a good story base. Me, personally, like, as fun as it is to just, like, you know, mindlessly mash on things in an animation, like, what does it all mean at the end of the day? What is the meaning of life, really?
Well, like, to make a good animation, you gotta have a good story. I'm not a good story writer. Like, my animations are usually like, hey, want to fight? Okay, cool. But I like,
yeah, that's the thing.
Not exactly like, hey, I'm bored. Want to fight? Sure. Like a lot of animations are. I try to make them not so generic. Try to put something that's different.
And that's a good thing, because like, you know, like, despite as to whether you're a beginner or not, I think you should spend a little more time with all the preparations rather than just like going it straight head on with all the improv and then like, here it is, guys.
Well, of course, if you're making like a test animation or like if you're just learning, like, okay, I'm gonna make a walk. Of course, you can make something like, hey, wanna fight? Cool. Like, there doesn't have to be much story there if you just want to learn how to animate. But when you're actually going to make animations that you want to, like, matter, then you gotta think of the story. And also SFCs. They always have the generic stories, or a lot of times, I mean.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess, like, regarding the practice, it doesn't really only apply to animations as well. I mean, it also applies to art. I'd probably be a better artist now if I, actually decided to stick with my basics. But, you know, unfortunately, like a lot of other artists, beginning artists, I sort of flaked away from doing the traditional practices and actually started drawing heads instead of like anatomy and actually working on things that should be worked on, and now I can't draw for shit. I mean, I can do some body frames here and there, but
I mean, there's always time to learn.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, like, it's likely, okay, this might be like news to the three of you or whatever, but like, I'm actually going to start taking on college around January.
Yo.
And
The heck?
one of the core things I have to do is I have to make a portfolio, and I'm not really sure if like animations count. So when it's more on the spot, I would have to draw a lot of things. So I actually have to get back into that sort of thing again, and actually, in this Christmas, I might actually get a tablet.
So are you majoring art then?
Actually, I'll still take animation, but like I went to an open house for that college. It was like fucking, I don't know, to like half an hour. But sometimes I was questioned on the spot, and to be honest, it wasn't exactly the best experience because I didn't really know what to say in most of the questions that I got because, I animate sprites. And what everyone else seems to be obsessed about, which I can't understand, is that like they would find drawn animation more appealing. And, it really put that sort of revelation where like I'm pretty much going to have to stick to this. In the end, I'm going to have to stick to this.
I understand what you mean because drawn animation has like almost no borders. You can do like, if you can use draw frames, you can basically do whatever you want in an animation. But sprites, it's at least MapleStory sprites, they're restricted to just like the 2D field. Well, of course, a lot of people have to start with the After Effects thing, like myself, with the 3D flooring and shit. And like, but I think that there's a lot of people who are like afraid to take it to the next level. Like, there's a lot you can do with sprites. It's just that they might think it's not like good enough for it. Like, the drawn animation will always be better.
Yeah.
A lot of people have that sort of thing.
Yeah, I completely agree.
But like to me, like when I always like I do video game based animations, like they revolve around that world, and I always like sprites always have that sort of charm to me. Like, I don't know, that's what makes me like it so much, I guess.
Yeah.
But hopefully you'll go to college and hopefully, you are going to college. Hopefully you'll be, like, in college you'll be able to find people who, share that spark and can cooperatively work with you. And speaking with working with each other, let's talk collabs, guys.
Collabs. Oh, okay.
I want to say I had this conversation with Tyler earlier today, and it was just about how many collabs nowadays. I'm not saying the collabs are bad or anything. I'm just saying that there's a lot of collabs that are like either really restricted to what you have to do, or you have too much freedom to what you have to do.
Like Magikarp collab?
Magikarp collab...
That never existed. Shh.
That collab had restrictions, but it still had a lot of freedom. But it was somewhere stuck in a limbo between the two.
A limbo.
Yeah, I think it, like, to me, I thought it was like a very bad time to do a collab because there were a number of people who were just like dropping out of animation, just focus on other things. But and like some dropped out for other reasons of which we can't have control over. But yeah.
My opinion on collabs is that some of them have really like good ideas. Let's see. Let's try to find a good example of one. Let's just say Sky High collab. That's one. I don't know if you guys might have heard of it or not, but it's a cool idea and all. Just I think it's just some of the members that have it really contributed in working on it, because I think partially the reason that collabs either A, don't come out, or B, are really short is that some people just don't apply themselves or don't contribute to that collab.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying I haven't done the same, because I have, but stuff happens.
Yeah.
I think it's like how much, here, I'll just finish this thought. I think it's just how much time they are willing to invest in procrastinating or, you know, that sort of thing, because that's like one of the most number one things that like what makes collabs fall apart. It's like giving people too much time to work on them.
I just want to say that like the Sky High collab, it's a good idea, but as I said earlier, I think this is one of the collabs that are a bit too restricted. I mean, in the air there's not much things you can interact with. On the ground you can have a lot of items, buildings, stuff like that. In the air it's just air basically, and mobs. So I mean, people can of course be creative and stuff, but
You know what
they
I
can
think is a prime
can be
example of a
restricted.
good collaboration? The Attack collab.
Oh my god.
I think
Let's see. Have you guys read the updates on Smash Mushroom Jr.?
No.
I haven't.
That's,
They were
That's still a thing?
apparently, but like not to throw like any slander or that sort of thing, but like Digitam, of whom I believe is the host, like
Yes.
they originally had 20 to 30 people, of which like consisted of you know, popular animators, beginner animators, that sort of thing. And there were recent updates of them showing like you know, the deadline's coming soon, but we only have like, you know, 6 or 7 people who turned in their parts, even though we originally started with like 20 or 30. And you know, to me, it was pretty much just Magic Cup collab all over again, where a lot of people would join, a lot would drop out, but there would still be parts, and you know, in hopes that it would all be salvaged together into one video. But considering that it's Smash Mushroom, we'll just see what happens, I guess.
I just want to say that, like, because Smash Mushroom collab, I can probably say that it's Smash Mushroom and Smash Wall collab has to be like the most respected Maple collabs so far in the community. And since this is a junior collab, I think that it might make people feel a bit less like, oh yeah, I'll be in the collab with the things, and like it won't be the exact same thing.
Yeah. But I mean, like, I don't know, my biggest beef with the junior club of specifically Smash Mushroom, and again, I don't mean to slander, maybe I do. You be the judge.
Go on.
I don't know, man. I felt like it was done. After Smash Mushroom came out, it was done. It was done and done. I didn't feel like there was like a need to do something like that. Like if you wanted to do something like that, you could have used like a different mob or something. Like, I mean, I went as far to make the Smash Pin collab, and that did all right. Speaking of which, I've been getting a lot of demand to host that too, which I might do. That's irrelevant. I'll talk about that later. But yeah, like I said, I felt like Smash Mushroom was just done with, and the junior collab seemed unnecessary. Though I understand from a certain standpoint, like why, you know, newer members of the community would like to, you know, participate in something such as that. But again, you probably could have chosen a different subject. Smash Mushroom's starting to get beaten up.
Yeah, I don't want to be offensive, but I personally do not have high hopes for that collab. I'll watch it, sure, but I'm not anticipating anything big.
Who knows? You'll surprise me, maybe. We'll see.
I know Denso will finish his part for it.
Cool. Why couldn't you be in the original?
I feel kinda bad that I was in the original, because I gotta be honest that I hated my part a lot.
I thought it came out fine.
And I know that I can do. No, dude, it might have been fine, but I don't think it was for the level of animation that was required to be in the collab.
Oh man, I remember when I applied, I got so butthurt because Jack got it, and I was like, but I'm a GIF animator too, and they're like, you're not the same, and I was like, oh please.
That's bullshit.
Nah, but I want to say that I think that what we need is another collab that is somewhat like, it has to be something like Smash Mushroom or Smash Wall collab, like a really hyped collab with some sort of restriction, but not too much.
Interpreted thing. I get what you mean.
Basically, Smash Mushroom collab was like this. Here's the mushroom. It comes in from the left. You fight it. It goes out from the right, and that's it. And then you can do like whatever you want. And there was so much originality done in the collab, which I appreciated. The Smash Ball collab was like, you have to be in this place and fight and try to destroy the wall, and then you can do whatever you want. And you can go if you want.
Okay. There was, like, I don't want to sound like, disconcerting about anything, but like, I kind of like watch over still frame like a freaking hawk sometimes, because like I'm so bored that like I like just wait to see what kind of activity shows up. One of the things that I saw was in the collab section that I believe the faction Soon was holding which was pretty much an animator versus animation collab. Like, do you know what that, like, the video, like the original video it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, like they were thinking of doing that sort of thing, where like fight shit on your desktop or whatever, however you want to go by it, and like I kind of like the idea personally, but I don't see a lot of feedback in general coming from it.
I guess it's because it's a little bit more daunting than your typical bash or animation. And a lot of people feel discouraged by that, and anybody who does have the capacity to do it, which is a bit high end for some people, simply just don't have the time. Like me, I can dedicate my time to one project right now, and I have an idea of what I want to do. But frankly, if I dedicate my time to that project, I couldn't join any other thing. Like I couldn't join any other collaboration, even if I wanted to.
I have these times, or like whenever nowadays. Before I could work on a million things and never get stressed or anything. Now, if I work on a 2 or more projects, I'll like die inside a bit, cause I just can't keep up, and I'll just be so stressed so that every animation will turn out bad.
Oh man, I definitely.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, same
like,
here.
Like I remember when when a friend of mine gave me like an inspirational speech. It was like, "Yo, you're not terrible," and I was like, "Ah, yes, you're right." I would put out like an animation almost every day, and they'd be like the most, like they weren't bad animations. They just didn't make sense. They were either humorous or they just were completely nonsensical, like Nato-esque things. And for a long time I was satisfied with that. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna keep animating every day. Keep getting better, keep going. And people were like, stop, you're spamming the animation section, please, Tyler. Like, you'd see like one thread and then another thread and another thread pile on top of each other. I wouldn't even make new threads for my edit. I wouldn't even stop to put more than one animation per thread, and eventually they made a rule against that, so I had to.
They made a rule just because of you.
Oh my god.
No, but before, I said this in one thread. I actually made a thread about this. Or wait, no, I didn't make a thread about this. I posted on a thread. That was that when you're a beginner, it's a lot more fun to animate. I still enjoy animating, but I could experience more, learn new things. It was more fun to see how it turned out and see me improve. Now I don't improve as much, and the only reason, or like the only expansion I can go by right now is After Effects. So like, it's not as fun to animate in Flash only anymore for me. I just can't do it.
And I mean, I remember back on another forum we used to go to, there was actually factions like designated to specific programs for some reason.
Oh yeah, I remember that being a thing.
Yeah, I was just like, there's a group called there's this faction called Dropbox. They're all GIF animators, but eventually they evolved past that. There's a faction called Flash. What?
Oh yeah, I saw
Flash
that.
was OP.
It was OP, but it didn't do anything, which kind of sucked.
Yeah, I know. I was looking forward to that because they were like the only thing that like challenged Endless for the longest time. I was so mad when like.
And they didn't do anything, and I was like,
they were like, we're gonna like rage civil war on your butts, and we're like, oh, please, Flash, no.
Like, who was it? It was Reeves, Derek.
Yeah, it was Reeves, Derek,
Yamamoto.
Assassin's Creed, Jordan.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that guy.
And oh yeah, I don't know. There was a lot of people that were like fucking great.
I was scared. I was like, no, please.
Because I was in Endless. I was terrified for War. But luckily I wasn't in the fighter spot. But I still was terrified for some reason. So yeah, I don't know.
Oh man, the OP from Flash.
See, speaking of factions, like, I am actually kind of surprised of, like, there's not like a lot of activity going on with factions on Stillframe right now, but they're still like, you know, they pop in, like, you know, whenever they feel like it, but it's still something, like, you know, with Soon and Kings of War and that sort of thing. But like, I don't know. I mean, some factions have like literally stopped in whatever they're doing. Like, we haven't heard anything about that. Like, what do you guys think of it?
I just want to say, as a member of Endless, I think Endless is just it discourages people to be active, because I don't mean to make Endless sound like God or anything, but Endless is like somewhat of a overpowered faction at this point.
We almost did get beat by Valor, mind you.
Yeah, okay, Tyler, listen, okay, guys, I'm gonna drop some shit right now.
Here we go.
Valor broke rules that they wrote, which I thought was fucking bullshit, alright? I got so mad when I saw the faction war thread. Like, you can't believe how frustrated I got.
Drop the stall.
I'm so, like, disappointed in my vote. Bakari, you saw it, and I bet you were less just like...
I'm sorry, Evan, but I was mad at you.
I can't blame you. I was like, wait. I looked back on it and I was like, wait, what the hell?
Like,
they did not follow...
like, okay, like, Brian, I fucking love you, but what the fuck? You wrote the rules, and you even broke them yourself. I got so pissed.
Honestly, I think for the time parameter we had, like, I guess I can understand, like, why their animations were lengthy, but the rules are rules. But, you know, everybody dropped a bomb in that thread. It's over. It's all good.
It's just that the thing that, Endless, every single part followed the rules. Every single one. And in the Valor, like, the Valor people, like, most of them broke the rules. One or two. Like, I just got frustrated and mad, and I was kind of glad that I wasn't in the faction war.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, totally.
Sorry, I respect Valor, but, yo, come on, guys.
You know, one of the things that like I got myself affiliated with Valor for was that one person got like, he won an SSC by default and like asked me like, do I get any multipliers? And like,
default
for me,
multiplier times 0.
Like, as a moderator, I moderate SFCs, of which I have to, like, distribute points and, you know, close threads, that sort of thing. He asked me if he got multipliers for a win by default, and, you know, obviously, he didn't get any. And, this person, I'm not gonna say his name, but, like, he was part of, Valor, and, like, this, like, are you sure Valor has a multiplier? Because I don't think so. And then, he wasn't even on their roster either, so... And then, like, I don't know, I guess there's something going on, but I'm not exactly sure. Maybe there's gonna be changes, or, you know, maybe not. But yeah.
Yeah, it's, I don't know, it's a bit precarious. I mean, I don't know. I don't SFC because, like, if... I don't care, I guess. I don't know. Like, as much as I would like the challenge, I don't have as much time as I used to lately, and frankly, I don't know. I get bored with battles, I guess.
Yeah, this is like... Oh.
I don't have anything more to add. I was just stuttering. Go ahead.
Oh, but like, I guess after this Halloween FCC, this might be the last one I'm probably going to do for a while. Mainly because I don't find a lot of, incentive, like, for whatever payout there is, whether you win or lose.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you better put some bodyguard in your Amiza then. I mean,
Oh, no!
Come on, so.
But, like, I guess there is some sort of hype just because for the fact that, like, it's an SSC. Let's go check it out and, get, like, a fuck ton of views on your video. But, I don't know. I can't do that sort of thing anymore.
Yeah. Also, before we move on to the next topic, can I just say, the trick-or-treat, yeah, as cute as the drawing is, what the hell is the still frame, Tom? Let me pass it there. Like, I don't know, I felt like still frame time should have been in there, but... You know, whatever, she's already on the sideboard. I guess we could have a random cat! No, I'm kidding. Let's go.
Shout out to Cinderbell!
Yeah! Best artist, two, I don't even know where I'm going with this. Anyway, moving on to the next thing. I'm giving away, like, free signatures, dude. GIF or non-GIF. I don't know if you guys have seen my thread.
Yeah, I was wondering, like, it was just out of nowhere, so I just have to ask. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it or anything, but, like, why? Why the free signatures?
At first, I was gonna charge, but I was like, you know what? 9 times out of 10, the results I'm gonna get, like, regarding poses aren't exactly gonna be what I want, and I can't always expect it to be. Secondly, I can probably do a lot of it myself, and the reason why I set it up for donation was because I knew some people don't have, like, a lot of don't have the skill I'm looking for in regards to spreading poses, which is like, I'm fine with that. But, everybody deserves a chance to have something nice, so I figured, I'll do this for the community. I'll make signatures. Yeah. I remember a guy known as Benoa back on a prior forum I used to go to used to do stuff similar to this. But in regards to multiple requests, I know there's one guy who's made a second request and I've kind of been like ignoring it. I'm sort of doing that on purpose. It's because, I don't know, I feel like if you're going to ask for something for free, you might as well, like, I don't know. If you're going to ask for free, you shouldn't bite the hand that feeds you, I guess. Just, be a bit more modest.
Oh, yeah.
Request amounts. Especially,
I totally know what you mean by that.
Yeah, as soon as you requested, I got, like, 10 more requests. I'm like, oh, okay.
In something in relativity to that, with Theory, which is, the faction that I'm the leader of, and Evan's also part of,
Shout out to Theory!
Yeah! Theory!
We posted an event for October, which is essentially a trick-or-treat event, where, you can ask for, make a request or for something. And since, Theory is a hybrid faction between artists and animators, you could request something that's, either in animation or something that's, like, I don't know, a fucking drawing. But, when we started it, we didn't really anticipate, how many people would request for stuff. Because, how much people we got?
How many?
4 pages.
Oh my god.
It was, 35 people requested for something. And, and the thing is, it's a trick-or-treat event, and here's the procedure of how we would do it. We would either give someone a trick or a treat. And, we would post all of it all on Halloween, which is the due date for this event. And what they are is, a treat is, we follow what the person says. We actually give them what they want. But,
I'm assuming trick is some sort of twist or something.
Yes.
Yeah, tricks are we do that request, but then we kind of counter it with something by humorous means. Oh, you wanted this? Oh, here, take this instead. And then, we'll just leave off and, nothing ever happened.
I swear you guys are gonna fuck me over.
Oh, you wanted sushi? Oh, here's a fish taco.
Yeah, you're gonna be in for something, Bakari. I'll tell you that. But we we got like so many requests, and one of the major problems that I had was that everyone, like, I won't say everyone, but like everyone asked for a fucking drawing, and like it just like irks me so much. Like, we have animators too, you know.
I mean, like,
and
I understand that, but I mean, come on, yes, Cinderbell, man. So just no. But you got, like, come on.
Shout out to Cinderbell.
Like, you have her there. People are gonna like. The moment I saw that banner and I saw Trick or Treat, I was like, oh my god, I already know what's about to happen. Cause like, come on, if you have like a talented artist on your team.
Yeah,
I also had a hunch that would happen, so I kind of agree with Tyler on that statement.
Like, I refrain,
like,
even now, I'm refraining from doing it because I don't want to, like, you know, murder you guys because I've seen all the requests.
Like I don't really want to toot our own horns on fucking Still Frame, but like, we kind of have like a good amount of like pretty well-skilled artists in theory, and I guess that's how everyone saw it, because I noted that everyone, well, not exactly everyone, but like a majority of people in theory would, you know, contribute to the request list. And spoilers, I actually drew a couple pieces myself.
Me too.
Oh yeah, Evan.
You did?
Yeah,
As a trick or
Evan,
treat.
you're in. That's a surprise.
Whoever got my quote-unquote trick-or-treats will be definitely in for quite the surprise.
Oh, like, and considering that it was Evan, like, I've seen, like, of course I would see all of it, but like, it all follows a certain guideline, except for one of them, which was, you know, again, no spoilers, but it's gonna be something. But what I hope,
I don't know what this would be, but it's gonna be something.
I already know which one you're talking about too.
This is like a genuine, like, I don't know, like, genuinely it's gonna feel like, cause like, seriously, who could turn down a free drawing? And then like, because, you know, like, for people who are artists, you would get a lot of people like, draw something for me, and, you know, I thought like, maybe this is the rebuttal that people get, like, you know, it's not essentially like, you know, a fuck you, but, you know, it's a joke.
It's more like, lol, faggot.
It's times like this where we refer back to Tate's video.
Cool.
But, like,
Did
you
you
know,
draw me?
Oh no! Please.
But, you know, it's all in good fun. Like, this is like, there is no catch other than of it being a trick. But again, like, for anyone who hasn't read the updates on the Trick or Treat thread, we have, because we got so many requests, we have stopped taking requests to invest some more time in it. And considering that we didn't expect to get so much, we probably might not, you know, complete all of them. Sad face, but, you know, things happen, and yeah.
Deal with it! Yeah. Like I said, going back to my signature thing, I don't know. I feel like it's not that hard to make them, and the ones that I like, and the ones that give me like good characters. By the way, I'm gonna be honest, guys. When you guys ask for gift signatures, like movement ones, and you give me a still pose with like the most elaborate hairs and like 12 capes or something, I just sit here in front of my desk and like cry a little bit, honestly. What do you want me to do?
Okay, I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna say this to you right now. Like, just for the Trick or Treat thread, when everyone asks for a drawing, when someone asks for something more, it is no doubt that there's gonna be a lot of more people who are gonna request for the same thing, and probably even more. Cause like for the Trick or Treat thread, there were some people who asked for, like, you know, a little too much for their drawing. Like, I want this and this and this and this, and like, you know, as with like some of the artists, like, is this guy serious? And it's like, you know what? I'm just gonna do this, and then, like, you know, throw it in the bin, like, finished request. And
I want a picture of Dovahkiin riding 10 dragons with 7 billion pieces of chicken nuggets in his hand.
Exactly. Not more, not less. Oh.
while he's juggling trumpets with ketchup spewing out of them. But I think
Make your skin
Sure,
color
just-
gold.
But I'll have to like.
I think
I'll have to buy your son off of you. We'll name him Stormageddon Darkstar the Third.
But I think we might have to wrap things up here.
All right, no
But
problem.
I guess. Well, actually, I think we've actually gone all over the stuff we've got planned.
Yeah.
So,
Any,
you know,
closing statements?
well, thanks for listening. This is the Frame by Frame podcast. Hopefully, you'll be here next time to listen, and hopefully we'll actually, you know, make another one.
You're gonna like it when we
Hope
take it step
so.
by step, a frame
Bye
by
bye.
frame, until your
Bye
flesh crashes.
I enjoyed
Bye.
being here. Thanks.
We
Remember,
love
guys,
you.
Remember,
I
guys.
love you.
Ely.
Remember, guys. Motion tweens suck. It's always for my friend.